year 8s. On the last day of term, or my very last day at school after 10 hugely enjoyable years. I remember a lot of things about the day: the weather, the excitement, the summer ahead, the anticipation of what senior school would bring. But of all the things, I have no clue who the speech day speaker was, and I certainly don't remember anything they said. So acknowledging that fact, if I can't make this speech memorable, I'm at least going to try and make it short. So in preparation for today, I had a look back at some of my school reports, which my parents have kept all of, to see how Great Ballard helped set me on the path to where I am today. Growing up, computers were being used more and more, so I thought maybe a career in IT would be a good choice. But my 4-5 IT report found I was polite, willing, but not as yet terribly successful. Or maybe I could work in a bank, but my Form 6 teacher said, I don't think math is Jacob's strongest area. So maybe something practical, using my hands, a builder or an engineer. But my design and technology teacher wrote that I flounder when left on my own. Thanks, Mr. Thomas. I will just say, the project in class that term was making a coat hook. I think it's safe to say, Mr. Thomas, it was not me floundering. So when you don't shine at any particular subject, what career could possibly be left? Politics. I've been lucky enough to work for the past 12 years as an advisor to Prime Ministers, Secretary of State in the UK, internationally, as well as advising the United Nations. I have no doubt that it is the lessons and experience I had whilst at Great Ballard which helped shape and form my character. So here's just 4 that I think are a bit of a sneak peek of what I learned. So I was a boarder for my last few years, and in the middle of the night, we would sneak along the dormitory corridor where the wooden floorboards are. They're really squeaky because they're really old, like a military mission. We knew where exactly every squeakiest floorboard were to avoid. Past Miss Spencer's matron's bedroom, she never ever heard a thing. Up the stairs onto the very top floor, and I was showing the head girl this earlier, and the head boy. And we used to climb out the window into the middle. You can get to the middle up there and sit under the stars and just chat away all night. Starting my love of adventure, military planning and missions. Parents and any Ofsted inspectors hiding in the audience, I have checked, there are now locks on those windows. Second lesson. Each dormitory used to have to take it in turns to wake up early and have to set out the dining room for breakfast, the cutlery, the water, the tea. And we used to get woken up by matron much earlier than any other dorm to have to do this, and we would always moan and groan. We'd have to come down and report to the morning chef, who had no teeth and spent most of the time chain smoking out the back, and lay out everything. We used to hate this, moan and moan and moan. This was until at the very back of the kitchen was a big storeroom, as ever still there, and in there was all the good stuff, the crisps, the Kit Kats, the biscuits, the cakes, and it was always locked by a big padlock. But obviously the morning chef used to open it up to start preparing breakfast. And we quickly worked out that we could distract her and take it in turns to sneak in and stuff as much biscuits, Kit Kats in our pockets as we possibly could. We only got busted when, I think it was Miss Spencer as well, found loads and loads of Kit Kat wrappers in one of our lockers, in one of our drawers in the boarding room, which was the only time we got busted. I think our punishment was somewhat subdued by the fact that one of the boys involved was the son of the headmaster, which somewhat softened our punishment. So the lesson there, kids, is not that crime pays. Crime definitely doesn't pay. We got caught at the end. But however bad the situation is and how awful it is, you can find something positive and always be the optimist. Lesson 3. As boarders, in years 7 and 8, you had a choice over bedtime, either 9 p.m. or 9:30. Now, obviously, as kids, we would always go for the later time at 9:30, but there was a big catch. It was only to watch the BBC 9 o'clock news, with the added catch that it was quite often with the headmaster. So every night you'd sit in your pyjamas watching the boring as hell news, trying to avoid the gaze of the headmaster, as he was known to suddenly ask you a question on the news report you had definitely not been watching. But watching the news night after night started my interest and passion for current affairs, politics, and an awareness of the wider world. Another valuable lesson from the forced news watching was getting used to the headmaster's sudden questions and expecting an answer on a wide variety of issues. Very much like my job now, when a minister will look at me and expect me to provide an answer almost immediately on any subject that I have absolutely no experience or knowledge of. Luckily, that's not including Brexit. And lastly, my last lesson. I wasn't lucky enough, to have David as the chef when I was here. And one day, for example, lunch consisted of, and I'm not making this up, macaroni pasta with chocolate sauce. It was absolutely disgusting. To this day, I have no idea what happened. And I think a lot of teachers passed on their comments to the chef. When I worked in Somalia, food and water was in very short supply, and many people, sadly, were going hungry every day due to not enough food being available. The food I did was often a goat, or sometimes a camel, and that was a lot more than most people had. At the time, I'd often look back and dream of having even a spoonful of that chocolate pasta again. The lesson I learned was never take for granted the amazing opportunities and how fortunate you are. Pupils out there, especially in Year 8, before you know it, you'll be 18, 21, 30 and on. The men and women you hope to be are being formed right here. As important as the academic and exam results are, they do not necessarily result in creating the best person. A good character, someone who learns the right qualities and values, will have far more success in life than those with just the exam success. That good character, or as I believe it could be called, the Great Ballard character, is being created right here at school. Your values, your sense of right and wrong, a sense of purpose, and always doing the right thing. These values Great Ballard planted in me in an early age. The Great Ballard character will be transformative in your life and the lives of others. The values of loyalty, respect, kindness, courage, optimism. Character matters. When we live in a world that is changing faster than ever, character matters more than ever. It is the Great Ballard character and values that your teachers and the community have taught you that will lead you to have full, successful lives, whatever you choose to do. Do not waste the opportunity that you have been given. So, there are roughly 130 pupils in Great Ballard, and each of you are going to meet around 10,000 people in your lives, and that's a lot of people. But if each of you just helped 10 people, and each one of those helped 10 people, you'll have helped and improved over 13,000 people's lives. Go back another generation, and you'll have helped over 100,000. Go back one more, and you'll have helped over 1 million people. The Ballard people sat right here in front of us could have helped and improved over 1 million people's lives in just 4 generations, or 100 years. So, Florian, Sam, how will you use your exceptional talent in art? Freya, your determination to work hard, however difficult the task is. Summer, your incredible skills in gymnastics. Finley, your ability to help others with your incredible mind. And Billy, your footballing and sporting prowess. Year 8, how are you going to use those skills and abilities with your Great Ballard character and values to help others and change the world? Your Great Ballard character can overcome all obstacles that will be set in your path. Your Great Ballard character can help you stand for those less fortunate than you. Your Great Ballard character can lead to a better world. Thank you.